All right, everybody, thanks again for joining us for a regular Tuesday night call. We are fortunate, honored, happy. What else would we be? Stoked to have our fearless leader, Carl Daikeler, on the call tonight. Carl has agreed to come on our team call as a little bit of a courtesy and a little bit of a thank you for some work that we did for International Justice Mission, which I know is a charity that is near and dear to his heart. And so we certainly appreciate you having us, or having you on our call tonight, Carl.
Well, it's my pleasure for me to have me on this call as well.
All right, I'll turn it over to Monica for the first question.
For real?
Cool.
Okay.
All right, now you got to get up. Huh?
All right, so I think, we've got 90 days left in 2014, and I just was wondering what you think, what do you want to tell coaches so they can pace themselves and maintain a particular, Dave's telling everybody to take notes, pace so that they can continue to perform well and not burn out?
Well, that's a very interesting question, because I'm probably the wrong one to ask that question if it's really the advice you want, because here's the way I feel. I'd rather find out where the burnout place is than operate in a way that is in fear of getting there. Now, of course, on a day-by-day or week-by-week basis, you got to pay attention to family stuff and obligations and priorities. But I think burnout really happens if you're not doing things that are productive for you. So, you get burned out if you're running into a wall over and over, or you get burned out if you're doing something that doesn't fulfill you in some way. But I've never heard anybody say that they got burnt out from just too much snow skiing. I'm totally burned out. I've been surfing all month, 8 hours a day. I work, I have sort of a personal policy that, and I'm a competitive guy, so I have sort of a policy that I will not be outworked, and I will not be out innovated in the space of health and fitness and helping people achieve their goals. So that means that I pay attention to what other people are doing around me, and I make sure that I'm on my game whenever I'm playing my game. And I never allow myself to spend too much time in the safety zone, because it's just not, growth doesn't happen there. So now maybe that's the way I'm wired, but the way I'm wired is not to make things cozy and predictable and comfortable for everybody. It's to shake the tree constantly and say, hey, everybody, quick, grab as many apples coming out of the tree right now, because I don't know how long there's going to be apples coming out of the tree. So you talk about the last 3 months of the year, and don't worry about burning out. I would say worry about the people who are going to spend all their money on ugly sweaters or bad ties or gadgets that they just don't need to give another gift of a gadget, and shake the tree as hard and as soon as possible to make sure that health and fitness is a part of their gift-giving plan. Make sure that people understand that the bulk of the weight gain that happens during the year happens during this quarter. Make sure that your friends and family or prospects don't go another New Year's where they spend a bunch of money on things that they end up quitting after 2 or 3 months, and help them find the solution, the challenge pack, the daily dose of dense nutrition that's right for them. So I just don't know how to go about the last 3 months of the year to try not to burn out. I say do everything you possibly can to burn out, and then go, that was awesome, and take a day off, and then go for it again. Sorry if that's the wrong answer.
I don't think that's the wrong answer. I mean, I think that that's what a champion says. And I mean, that's why you're not out innovated, and that's why you're as successful as you are. And that's why you continue, you know, I think I sit back and I think I just was sitting down with a possible challenger right before the call. And I felt incredible gratitude that we have this 21-day fix program for her, and that, you know, I'm embracing it. And it's the program that just came out, more or less. I mean, I know P90 just came out, and I know we had PIO, but I feel like the programs just continue to blow me away. And then when we see the next 3 programs that are rolling out, one that had rolled, it's incredible. So yeah, it's motivating and inspiring to see how you work, and I like your philosophy.
I think the other really good point there that strikes a chord with me, not just because I love to ski and surf, but you're right that, you know, I get the question a lot of times, you know, do you ever burn out on this business? Do you ever just get tired of, you know, doing whatever it is you're doing, you know, recruiting or running challenge groups or whatever? And I don't. And I think the reason I don't is because it really does make me happy. It really fulfills me, and it's something I really love doing. I really love helping people and putting people in this position to win. And so you don't get burned out when you're doing stuff that you really enjoy doing. So I think that's a really good point.
All right.
There you go.
Ask Carl your next question, Dave.
Yeah.
Bachelor number 1. Sorry.
One of the questions I get a lot, or things that people seem to want to talk to me about is the future and where we're going. And you know, I know a lot of that stuff is not necessarily, you know, I'm not asking for specifics here, obviously. You know, there are I'm sure things you have in the works, and I'm sure things that are on your ultimate wish list that, you know, you can't necessarily share. But the big picture vision for, you know, where we're going as a company and where you see us, you know, in maybe, I don't know, 5 or 10 years?
Well, it's really just variations on the theme. What is, you know, and innovation, you know, I have a board of directors, and, you know, we have shareholders who are a private equity group, and they want a 3 to 5 year plan. And I said, well, you know, what I can promise is that the objective of helping people achieve their goals to lead healthy, fulfilling lives is still a work in progress. And we haven't got it all right. I mean, we're literally just figuring this out. And as excited as I am about P90, which is already, you know, I've got this friend who is a vet who's doing it, veteran, I mean, and like his whole life is like in just 3 days of doing P90, his whole life has changed. And I'm like, God, you know, he's been my best friend since childhood, and it took me till now to reach him with something. And then there's other people, you know, who I think who may be frustrated with insanity, who are going to be moved by Insanity Max 30. They're a type A person, but insanity was just too much and too long. Or there's people who want to get results in 21 days, and 21-Day Fix is a great program for them, but allows these little cheats, and they want something where they're really going to go all the way as hard as possible for 21 days, like a sprint. And so 21-Day Fix Extreme is going to be the thing that talks to them. Or we're going to, you know, find gaps in the space during the year to manage the body and the seasons, so that, while life will happen, there's a way to get it back. So for instance, I'm planning on doing the 3-day refresh the week after Halloween, so that I can enjoy the weekend of Halloween without worrying about it. And I know I'll knock off 5 pounds if I've got them to lose, and dial in my diet and everything that week of October 30 or of November 1st and 2nd. So I'd love it if you guys join me. So the point of all this, and I'm not even getting into what I know is coming next year, which I think is going to be perhaps blow the doors off of any prior year in the company's history in terms of innovation, and prospects for new innovation, that we're just figuring it out, but there's no shortage of opportunity, because the 200 and something million people who are overweight or obese in this country or in this continent, we haven't reached so many of them, and we're not going to reach them in just the next 3 months or even the next 3 years. But I do know that U.S. medical costs every year from obesity-related problems are $190 billion. U.S. employers lose $164 billion of productivity to obesity-related issues. You know what? I read a stat the other day that the airline industry loses $9 billion a year in fuel costs since the obesity trend has really hit a critical mass. And here we are, a little company that is approaching $1 billion that is still a rounding error in all those numbers. So when you ask me where we're going to be in 5 to 10 years, I think we're going to still be the company in the sweet spot of innovation, working to help more people lose weight, help more people manage their lifestyle in a way that has less yo-yos, less inflection throughout the year. I think that's maybe the right word, or fluctuation throughout the year, and then gets higher up the continuum to help people actually make not just the vanity gains of losing weight and getting fit, but they start to make the kind of choices that are truly about enhancing the health and their wellness, so that they need fewer drugs to treat illness, they need fewer procedures to fix things that were caused by lifestyle choices. And that runway, that we got a good decade of development on that runway, because we're never, I don't want us to become a drug company. I want us to continue to be a wellness company that tries to help foster behavior modification before the need to cure. And so, I get approached to give to cancer and to give to the American Cancer Society and or American Diabetes Association and so on. And while personally I do give, but as a corporate entity and as a movement, I want our focus to be on helping people avoid the choices that caused the problem in the first place. And I think we'll just get better and better and better at that. And as we grow, and as you guys recruit more coaches, and as we eventually start opening up international markets, it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. And I know that when people look at the company and assess it against other network marketing companies, we can look sort of traditional, look like another network marketing company. But here's what I know. I know that I'm the guy that won't be out innovated, and I know that we're the company that won't be outworked, and we're the company that has a real core purpose that we live and breathe and quote every day, and that's help people achieve their goals and enjoy a healthy, fulfilling life. And that mission, that unwavering commitment to that mission, has is completely unique in this space. So while there will be other networks and there'll be other ways to make money, there will be no other company that has the long-term ramp and consistency of revenue growth, distributor growth, and profitability than this company because of the way we go about it. That does not mean it's going to be the easy one to work with. In fact, I think I take full responsibility for making this a very difficult company to distribute their products. And that's because we're selling the real deal. And the real deal is a tough sell, which is why there's an opportunity in the first place. And anything that is not a tough sell means that it's either a me too, because there are no vacuums in, there's no easy in marketing unless you're just competing on price or undermining product quality, or you're selling an empty box. And I know we're not doing either of those. So as long as we keep doing this, we still got problems to solve. And that's what the next 10 years look like.
Do you want to follow up on that?
I just was wondering, now I just have a question. Do you think that we're going to get, like, I just went to Super Saturday in Honolulu. And when I was there, I was in my hotel room and, you know, I was thinking about all the devices that I had to bring. Do you think that we're going to get more innovative in terms of, like, how to get to my videos, my video library?
Of course. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You know, we will eventually innovate our way into the digerati or the digital domain without a doubt. But we're not rushing there, and currently, while we investigate that and we want to make sure we do it right, you know, you guys have been here since the beginning, and you've seen us make about as many mistakes and currently make as many mistakes with technology as any company could afford to. And so we don't want to do anything halfway, and we also don't want to do anything that disrupts the incredible momentum that we've got. And quite frankly, what we're seeing, well, again, there's certainly a demand out there for our programs to be available by streaming or for digital downloads. But in terms of the dominant market demand right now still exists around DVDs and consuming this programming where you're not tied to a Wi-Fi connection or a USB port in order to consume it. So you can put a DVD player down in the basement or in the spare room without having to suffer through a spinning wheel while you're programming buffers. So you know, right now I think we're doing okay, but I assure you we'll get there, just like we'll ultimately expand into other markets. But with the kind of growth we've experienced this year, which has been extremely dramatic, we've definitely seen that while there's demand for it, it is not suppressing potential at the current time.
Maybe just take a second and you know, obviously we were at leadership and got to see the presentation about the growth, and I've kind of been through some of those numbers with some of the people on our team. But for those people, you know, just give them a little bit of idea of what kind of a year it's been.
Well, I mean, it's been unbelievable. It's really just, now when I say unbelievable, I'm saying that by comparison to budget and forecast. So not necessarily compared to what other companies have achieved when they've gone through a spike or what they call a hockey stick year. Like if you think of laying a hockey stick down on the ground and then all of a sudden it goes up, right? And that's sort of a hockey stick year. We're not experiencing that kind of spike, which I'm actually okay with, because those are the kind of spikes that tend to signal that a company might be growing too fast. So, you know, but we've seen since 2008, I think what they call our annualized growth rate is like 53% per year since 2008. And that's just outrageous compared to, now the company overall has grown over 20%. I think it's 23% per year. And, you know, it's fantastic, but the way the network in particular is growing, you know, we're going to grow by well over 50% this year. We might grow, you know, we got a quarter left. So, but it could be kind of 50, 60% year over year growth in the network. Could be even more depending on how October, November, December goes. So, and all that has been done without having to dramatically change the model in any way. And I'm proud of that because, again, you guys have been around for a while, but the most important thing, and if not the one thing that I'm paranoid about, or that I would say saddens me around this business, is when I see people get in with real intent to succeed and they think they need to reinvent the wheel and they don't follow the fundamentals. They don't do coach basics. They don't understand the vital behaviors. You know, when I get people posting on my Facebook page and they say, you know, where can I find information about the Fall Classic, which really just means that that person is completely disengaged with the Coach Online Office, which is where a professional would go to look for the answers to really run this as a business that if you've got the intent to be a millionaire or even replace a current six-figure income or something. So that's the stuff that kind of bums me out. And what I'm proud about our growth is that we've done it in a way that we're getting better and better at simply replicating the business model out to the new coach. And which means that we've achieved a level of simplicity and consistency that now people might actually believe that this really does work. This system of inviting and being the proof the product works and doing personal development and recognizing recognizing your team and creating a sense of team actually does have the ability to perpetuate a business that can be productive. And it's certainly showing in our numbers, and it doesn't show any signs of slowing down. In fact, if anything, it's speeding up, as they say in the high finance world. It's snowballing or flywheeling. And you know, if we can continue to attract leaders like you guys and so many on your team, you know, we're going to have a 2015 for the record books again, which is just incredibly exciting.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's nice to hear, you know, so we can say it over and over again. It's like we're like the parents that say, put your coat on. And then when I love that scene from Father of the Bride. And then when the boyfriend says it, she puts her coat on. So not that you're the boyfriend or anything, but
it's getting awkward.
I feel awkward. But what I want you to just, like, you know, if you could just talk about that or just encourage coaches to really stick to the fundamentals, you know, talk about being a professional, you know, what do you think a professional coach looks like? Just, you know, I understand this whole idea of not reinventing the wheel and sticking to the fundamentals. So if you could just give them a little like reality check and tell them that you know, it's really sticking to the fundamentals.
Well, let me give you a little insight that I kind of wish we'd shared at leadership now, and maybe it'll be something that'll come out at Summit. But there's a couple of people that I have worked with personally, friends that I thought were going to be great coaches because they were just incredibly courageous salespeople. And they came in like, you know, hellfire, ready to go, ready to sell everybody. And they were, even if they did the vital behaviors, they did them with kind of superficially, so that they could get away with saying, yeah, I'm doing the vital behaviors. But at the end of the day, they were missing what really is behind the vital behaviors. And the success that we're seeing is not people who are great salespeople. They're great people. They're great at creating relationships, and they don't stop doing that. So I'll sort of even go back to the first question about burnout, or perhaps you guys have been at this now for so many years as founders, that it's possible that this would get boring, and so the vital behaviors, God, how long do I have to invite? How long do I have to be the proof the product works? Can I have a cupcake, or whatever? So at the end of the day, the great coach who's going to exist in this business and make 7-figure income and just go and not get bored is the person who takes great joy in creating relationships that are meaningful and substantial, that they truly, when they ask somebody, how you doing, they're actually looking for an answer, not just a pleasantry on a as they're passing by. People who say, who engage with somebody on what their issues are in their lives and truly believe that what we represent in terms of healthy lifestyle and accessing a deeper view of nutrition with the kind of stuff that's in Shakeology. The people who have a deep belief in that and can share that belief with people in a substantial way don't have to be great salespeople. They just need to keep engaged in the vital behaviors in a proactive way so that they continue to prospect. And at the same time, as they start to build a team and they achieve diamond status or star diamond status, then they start to create this sense of team, and another layer of caring shows itself. Again, not selling, but caring, where they recognize the achievements of the coaches that they bring on their team. I heard a song every once in a while. I listen to, as you know, I dabble in Broadway a little bit. So I listen to the Broadway channel on Sirius XM. And I heard this song I'd never heard but I think it's called the Will Rogers Follies. And it's a song Will Rogers singing about how he never met a man he didn't like. And I'm just listening to that song and I'm thinking about it and I'm sort of relating it to our business, and I'm thinking, God, imagine how successful Will Rogers would have been as a coach if there's a guy who could, or a person who could just be in a conversation and be impressed with the human being across the table, yet still have a compassion and a soft way to introduce that person to something that could also help them improve their lives. And it's one of the reasons that I think sharing both your successes and our successes, or my successes in terms of getting in and out of shape, or doing the 3-day refresh, or doing the ultimate reset, or succeeding with 21-day fix, or failing to finish P90X3 or something, that sharing that humanizes the experience, and everybody can go, God, you too? Yeah, I can relate to that. And then we go, yeah, but we're not going to quit with this because I'm not satisfied to be this person who doesn't feel good in his own skin, or doesn't feel like clothes fit well. So the point here is the fundamentals were established to help us point out influential behaviors. Invite, 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 which I like to rephrase as connect, 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 which is truly, connecting with people. Be the proof the product works. When I say be the proof the product works, I didn't say have a six-pack. I didn't say have a nice toned, firm booty. I didn't say be the strongest person in the room. I said be the proof the product works in the way that you define for yourself, and do the personal development. I'm not saying do the personal development so that you're constantly carrying around a Tony Robbins book and you're a super shiny, happy person. I'm saying that's a vital behavior because the things that have derailed you in your past are likely to derail you in your future unless you're doing some personal development. So those 3 vital behaviors are there to point out influence behaviors that will influence success. However, the greatness comes from a person that can connect with people and can relate with people, and it's within that the business will grow, that it will bloom and blossom and continue to bear fruit, if I can go with the vegetation metaphor, every day, every week, every month, and every season, as long as that coach can stay in the mindset of, what can I do to serve these people? And when somebody is truly in that mindset of, how can I serve these people, that's the person that, in my view, deserves to be exceptionally wealthy and will be surrounded by abundance. And in fact, that abundance will be even less important because they'll be so rewarded by how they spend their days and the relationships that they create. And I think that's what makes a successful coach. But it's a process. It's an evolution. But it's rooted in the vital behaviors and a true human connection with the people who are touched by those vital behaviors.
Well, that was very powerful. Amen to that. I totally agree. I love it.
Well, my pleasure. So just for the record, I have a product development meeting that is now waiting for me.
No.
So I want to make sure you get everything you want out of this call, but I also am in the midst of developing a product that will be releasing at Summit that is going to make your brain explode, gray matter all over the walls, and I can't keep them waiting too much longer.
That is awesome. We know one of the goals you set for yourself for the fourth quarter and early 2015 was to help more coaches achieve their potential, and we certainly appreciate you taking the time to help us and the people on our team do exactly that.
We're grateful.
Well,
thank you so much.
It's really my pleasure. I'm proud of what you guys are doing. So proud that I could be a part of this. I think we should set an unofficial date. Let's do this around the start of the year again, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
That'd be awesome.
All right, you guys.
Right.
Thank you.
Cool.
Talk to you later.
Bye,
Bye.
Carl. Thanks so much.
See ya.
Okay. So, all right. Well, so that, I think maybe, do we want to just do like a little recap, rehab? What, I mean, do you have anything you want to just say as in, reflecting on kind of some of what Carl had to say? I thought it was really a ton of insight there. I'm probably going to listen to this again.
Oh my gosh, I feel like crying. I don't know about you guys, but I do. I feel like crying. I think about how many times, I guess it was really good affirmation for me because, I've worked really hard at wanting to connect with people. I think a lot of times people don't meet me and want to connect back, but I know that the relationships that I've been able to develop with you guys, with my challengers, and just with my local friends, I'm super stoked for the Diamonds to come to my hometown next week and to see what Dave and I have created here. And just, in the past, we've always had you guys here where we've had you. I've been almost a stranger in this town as well, and this is the very first time we're having you here where we're going to bump into friends and family all over the place. And, I thought about it like this because last weekend, Julie Schulte was in town. We had her on one of our Millionaire series. And we just walked around, and my local friends, embraced her with so much love, and we're so stoked to like enhance our visit. And it makes me so excited for all you Diamonds and Star Diamonds who have earned the ability to come spend this time with us, and to be able to bring Autumn to you guys, and to be able to wine and dine you all weekend with not only a ton of amazing content, but just the ability to connect on a smaller level. Summit's getting out of control now, and it's a great place to feel the energy and recognize that, hey, there's a lot of people that love this, love what we're doing. It's certainly not supposed to stir scarcity in you or fear that, it's saturated or whatever, because I swear every time I turn around, there's 10 more people that I can talk to. But, you know, just to rehash what he's saying, just seriously, every conversation you go into, consider how you can care about that individual. And if somebody is reaching out to you, be okay with receiving their love. I mean, I'm all about having boundaries, and I'm all about being discerning with relationships, because not every relationship is going to serve you. But by all means, I have walked in these 7.5 years as a Beachbody coach, away from relationships and into relationships that blow my mind. That I can't even believe I have the quality of people like you in my life every single day who are that committed to helping others, to serving others. So, you know, whatever you have to do to refocus your mind, re-sponsor yourself into this business every day so that, yeah, you don't experience that quote unquote burnout or self-pity or self-sabotage or whatever. You know, I mean, you guys have seen me go yo-yoing with my weight and, you know, struggling myself. It's true. It happens. But, you know, it's game on. And definitely reach out to us and reach out to the Diamonds and Star Diamonds and get into little cohorts of support so that you have you have the motivation, the inspiration, and you have the accountability. Don't go hide in a hole. I know you guys, some of you guys are trying to hide from us, and we're trying to reach out to you. And, you know, and I think that you will have such a great deal of richness in your life if you just accept the process and allow us to all be involved in your life and all help each other like the little amazing family that we are within a huge family, you know? So yeah, be awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was really insightful as well, where he talked about, you know, when Monica asked him the question about what do you think a professional coach is, and, you know, really what he talked about was somebody who is really good at relationships. You know, for those of you guys who've worked with me or, you know, seen my stuff, you know, that personal development aspect for me has been totally vital. I did not have the communication skills to connect with people or sit in front of you doing this video. I mean, when we started this business, when I started this business really at the end of 2008, early 2009, I had to work on that a lot. I mean, a lot. That was the big, you know, thing I had to overcome. And it's opened up so many other areas of my life. It's not even you know, about, you know, being a great coach and making a ton of money or whatever. I would never have been able to surf. I mean, I think you guys know how much passion I have for surfing now. I couldn't allow myself to surf because I couldn't make mistakes. I couldn't go get in the water and do what it's required, which is screwing up and looking stupid and crashing and hurting yourself a little bit. That's just what's required to become a good surfer. And I wasn't willing to do it because I was embarrassed and I couldn't handle it. And then finally, I started to realize that I don't really give a shit what people think about me, because I'm going to go do the things that are going to make me happy in my life, whether that's this business or surfing or whatever. And I had to get to that point, and that point was hard to get to. But it was, you know, that aspect and that personal development. And I guess the other thing that really strikes me about Carl and really a lot of the guys at corporate who've been there since the beginning, and that's John and Michael and Jonathan Gelfand. I'm probably forgetting somebody, but those guys have been there really since the beginning. And, you know, I got to meet these guys really early on in the company. I was very skeptical about this company. I thought this was a big scam. I was really sure that we were just going to throw away a bunch of money and get taken for a ride. And I got to meet these guys, and I got to know who they were and their backgrounds and their stories and where they were from. And they sat and promised me that they would always do things the right way. And that if I ever felt like they weren't doing things the right way, that I had the right to pick up the phone and tell them, you guys are way off base here. This is wrong. You're going to screw this up. And, you know, they didn't necessarily say that they would listen to me, but they basically gave me the right to do that.
I know. I'm going to sneak off, guys. Thank you so much for
the call.
I have another call. I have my A-listers call, but also I have to start dinner because I am a mama.
All right. So I'll just...
It's a Taco Tuesday.
I'm going to get back into my seat.
It's like an Italian saying, it's a Taco Tuesday. Okay, goodbye.
So it really, in conclusion, what I was really wanting to say is just that what's been great over the years, and it was really cool at leadership this year to sit down with Carl and John and reconnect with those guys and just see that they're the same people that they've always been. You know, I guess they have more money now, but that hasn't really changed them. Carl is super hard charging, driving, and you hear him on the call. He's just not going to get outworked. And I just know that's true. That's not lip service. That's the way he is. And John is a very analytical, kind of caring guy that is maybe a little harder to get to know. But once you get to know him, he's a very open, great connector. You know, I mean, he's a professional. And it was so good to see those guys and spend some time with them and get back to just see that they haven't changed and that they're still dedicated to the same thing. I even love, you know, I was trying to get a little bit more out of him as far as, you know, where the company's going with growth and vision and, you know, expansion and online streaming maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of people talking about that now, and I'm sure that's coming, and they're already doing it with Xbox. But I love his answer. His answer is, look, we have a problem, and we're a long way off from solving the problem. So my vision for this thing is to just keep solving this problem that continues to exist. And so I want to encourage all of you to really take his advice and dig in and you know, take a good hard look at yourself and figure out where you need to improve and what you need to do better. Some of you, it's going to be like me, communication skills or relationship skills. Some of you, it's going to be just kind of getting to work, getting organized and doing, you know, more inviting or connecting, as Carl likes to put it. Whatever it is that you think you need to do more of, I really want to encourage you to do more of it, because the other thing I think he said was about burnout, you know, and he's just right. I don't get burned out on this business. I make sure I take time to pull away from it so that I don't have to worry about that. But I'm a really long way from getting burned out on this business because it's just so rewarding. You know, I mean, the people that I've met, even just this year, blow my mind. And that happens because I haven't gotten to a point where I'm burned out on it. I'm just having fun, you know? So anyway, that's it. Thanks for your time. I hope you guys enjoyed that call. I hope you took lots of notes. I will be going back and listening to it, and I will be posting the recording as quickly as I can. I just have to upload it to YouTube, basically, and then I'll pop it in the group. So you can look for that later. Have a great night. Thanks again for your time. We'll talk to you next week. Oh, next week, quickly. Next week, Jimmy Hayes Nelson is coming to visit me from Dallas, and he and I, instead of a team call at 5:30, at 5 o'clock Pacific, which is 8 Eastern, right? Yeah, 8 Eastern. We're going to do a prospecting webinar. So if you have people who are interested in this business, that would be a good place to send them. We'll also record that as another tool for you to use and help you hopefully build your team. So there you go. That's it for now. Thank you so much. Sorry we went a little bit over, but I think Carl is worth it. Thanks.